APIs of Yelp? Well, that could possibly be spam. It's only one review. This is a user. Somebody could have just signed up with a fake email address, and now this is a spam review. That doesn't mean anything. We'll weight it incredibly low. We'll bury it at the bottom of the reviews. That whole thing. It's like, this one good review. However, if somebody logs on and makes a negative review, they can use that to go to the business owner and have a conversation about, well, if you were managing your page and you bought into our system, then those reviews might not be as high as they normally are. Every single Yelp page you go to, I will not say every single, that's way too general. Most of the Yelp pages you will go to, if they're not managing through Yelp, the top reviews are not 5s. It doesn't do them any good. 1-star reviews does Yelp good because it gives them a reason to go get money from somebody. 5-star reviews don't do Yelp any good. Because if your page is going well, why in the world would you pay Yelp? If your page is going badly, then you would start paying Yelp. Yelp is flat out extortion. They're evil. It's a terrible company. It's some of the worst experiences I've ever had have been with the higher ups of Yelp.
They contact me constantly.
It's total extortion.
To get us to buy into their program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we have no need for it. It's not. People don't go onto Yelp to look for a therapy company.
Right.
I mean, it's not beneficial to us.
They are selectively screwing the restaurant industry and screwing the entertainment industry, and it's awful. They're a terrible, terrible company. But that's the way that they've figured out how to monetize.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's understanding how anything that you're doing, take a big old step back and realize, how is this company making money? And once you figure out how they're making money, you'll have a better idea of how to address them and how to deal with them. Just in general, if you see a 1-star Yelp review, ignore it. Just ignore it, because odds are there's 7 5-star reviews that have been deleted because it doesn't do them any good, or they've been shoved to the bottom and that kind of thing. So when you're personally navigating Yelp, just know that. For the most part, businesses are not in the business of making people mad.
I had a company call me about a proprietary software they had. I think it was $500 a month for 6 months or something like that, and then you owned it.
Yeah.
And what it was they did it for every industry. And what they did is they found out that with the reviews, the software somehow processes the positive reviews that they take out and puts them in a quote unquote trouble ticket with Yelp. And Yelp has a fault in their system that if there's something under a trouble ticket, and this does this over and over every month, the software does with these reviews, that they can't take the positive ones off. The system's not allowing it. So it kind of tricks their own system to leave the positives on there. I have to talk to you later.
I have not heard about that. However, I guarantee you that Yelp has.
Yeah, and then they'll fix that.
Yeah, that's 3 days of coding to fix that. I mean, if that's it,
sure.
Man, don't build your house on somebody else's land.
Oh yeah.
And that's another spiel that I go into about. Do not rely on social media. It's a tool. It is not the end-all be-all. Own your website, because at some point, Facebook's public. If you've dumped 90 hours into Facebook and now all of a sudden it didn't go well and they shut down, which happens all the time to public companies, there's nothing you can do. Absolutely nothing. Or if they arbitrarily decide that they didn't like the way that post went down, they're going to flag you. Okay? And if you do that again, they're going to shut you down. And you own your domain, own your website, push traffic to that. That's the most important thing. That is where ultimately you want the crux of your conversation happening. That's why I will always talk about blogging over Twitter, social media, that whole thing. And I mean, we're a social media management company, but it's all about what you own. Absolutely about what you own. So yeah, I'm sure Yelp's very aware, and it's either a total lie, or it's something they're actively working on, or that company's actually owned by Yelp. I would say it's probably one of those three.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. Oh, just as kind of a little bonus trinket. If you do decide to encourage your customers to review, I know that's a hard thing for a lot of people. Blame it on me. Say you went to some meeting at the chamber and the social media dude said that I should ask people for reviews, and I'm just gonna do it. Blame it on me. Totally blame it on me. That's a lot easier. That's a lot easier conversation to have with a good customer than, hey, could you review me? 'Cause I need better reviews. Yeah, totally. Blame it on me. That's easy. Okay, we kind of talked about we talked about Google reviews and local. The other thing to keep in mind is Yahoo. Yahoo still runs about 14% of the search traffic. So Yahoo reviews are still valuable. I mean, not as valuable as this. However, if you can get 3, 4, 5 positive reviews on Yahoo, it's still 14% of the search traffic out there. So there is still value in the Yahoo thing. Is there anything else that I can answer? I think maybe that's pretty much the spiel.
Is there
I would love to
any
just kind
place
of have a
that,
conversation.
there's no place that you can do something in the opposite of Feedly where you can give a client, hey, go ahead and do a review, and it shoots it out to these areas?
No, there's some services who kind of offer that, but where they send those reviews don't typically matter. Those are more about there used to be this thing back when it worked called a link farm, and basically what a link farm would do is it would take your website's domain and it would cloak it under whatever search term you're going for, and then it would place it on thousands of websites. So in theory, if I'm looking for the words Richardson sign, then thousands of websites are now telling Google that, oh, well, Richardson sign, that's actually this page. And it used to work. There's services now that take that idea and they send it out to all of these review sites that don't mean anything. You might get a little bit of SEO value out of it, and you might get a little bit of traffic out of it, but it's probably not going to be worth whatever they're going to charge you. You had a question?
Yes. I heard this from some people, and I don't know if you know anything
Sure.
about it. We have Wi-Fi in our office, and sometimes I do ask the parents if they are happy with their services. I tell them, I said, do you mind giving us a review online?
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard some people say, tell them to go back home and do the review, not from your office, because the ID will register and Facebook or Yelp or whatever will think it's you sending them. Is that true?
Yeah, that is true.
Because
That
we
is
have a
true.
lot of patients that don't have computers at home.
Yeah.
So we have a tablet that we're going to offer to let them do
Sure.
stuff like that in the office, but they can't because of IP restrictions.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. The easy solution to that would be to, oh gosh, let me find it. The easy solution to that would be to run it through a, oh my god, now I forget what they're called. There are services that will cloak your IP address, and they're super cheap. The only reason that I know about them was because of I spent 4 months in Southeast Asia, and so a lot of times I didn't trust the IP address that I logged into. So there's I forget what services. I'll look it up after we're done. But basically, it's like $30 a month, and it effectively logs you into a computer in blank. So now all of a sudden you may end up getting a whole bunch of reviews from Australia or Germany, but it's not your IP address. Yeah.
What about, because you always, I don't know, because that makes me think if someone had a restaurant or something where there's a sign on the table, enjoy your service, leave us a review on Yelp or something, or if they have it at the sign.
Honestly, physical invitations to reviews are the most effective way to get them. And one of the ways that we actually we just did a proposal for a timeshare company. So they've got some issues with their reviews just inherently, because people don't understand how those things work, and well, it was an hour and a half and a waste of my time, and blah 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 blah, all that crap. And one of the things that we recommended to them was honestly have when people go check in at their timeshare and when they're checking out, hand them a postcard that says, "Did you enjoy your stay? If you did, please, we're on TripAdvisor, we're on Yelp, we're on that kind of thing." And those things, we did a little bit of work with Gold's Gym, and that was incredibly effective. We just handed those to the trainers and basically said, "Yeah, if you like it, we're on Yelp, just so you know. Hope you had a good time." And that, the reviews spike.
Or maybe a sticker on the door. I'm not sure if the sticker on the door works.
Yeah, I mean, obviously handing something to somebody is a little bit more.
Sure.
But yeah, absolutely. It's the thing is, it's creating an awareness amongst your consumer base that you are on review sites and it is important to you. That's what this all comes down to. There are the ultimate goal for the online reputation management thing is beyond positive reviews. It's all about where you are on Google, what kind of articles and what kind of tones they are about you. If you Google my name right now, I think it's the top 9 are me, because I'm very active on Twitter, I'm active on LinkedIn, I'm active on YouTube, I'm active on Facebook, and now all of a sudden all of these things for your individual name are yours and not Sinorama Richardson sucks. It's the only one I see. Yeah.
There's a couple things I was going to ask.
Sure.
Questions on these optimization companies that'll get you bumped up on Google
Sure.
searches.
Yeah.
Any magic to that?
Yeah.
Or, I mean,
Yeah, there is. It's not magic. It's coding. But yeah, there's SEO companies are still incredibly valuable, and there is a lot of value to SEO. The way that they're doing it is by optimizing the content that you have and creating new content. Because basically, Google really it is inherently good, and they genuinely want to give you the best answer for red shoe when you type in red shoe. And so if you create a campaign where you've sort of had an active blog, but whatever, it hasn't been that active, but now all of a sudden you're taking your blog and you are blogging 7 times a day for the next 100 days, and all of them are going to be about how much your site is about red shoe. And you're taking that content and you're sending it out through Twitter and Facebook, and you're getting all of these links, and you're creating YouTube videos about you as red shoe and all of this stuff. I promise you, at the end of 100 days, you're going to be a lot higher in Google for the term red shoe than you are right now. Because the way that they look at things is how many links, how many sites out there that we trust are pointing at this thing saying that this is red shoe. And that process goes over and over again. Then they look at your content. Is this unique content? Are they trying to scam us? If they're not trying to scam us and they are actually about red shoe, then we rank them a little bit higher, and it goes over and over. They genuinely do want to give you the best answer, but since they became the big dog, there's been a lot of SEO companies that have that have found the ways to scam that. They've gotten Google has gotten a lot better at taking away those tricks, like the link farms. Link farms totally used to work because, if you think about it, if Google's waiting how many times your website is called Red Shoe, then if you just, okay, cool, I'm just going to have my site called Red Shoe 1.5 million times, and then nobody else is going to be able to do it, And so they've taken a lot of that stuff away. Now they're actually figuring out ways to weight the quality of the content and not just whether or not it's there. But inherently, there's the handful of standards that any SEO company will introduce you to, and they have a better understanding of the way that Google is manipulating their algorithm than you do. And so
where do you see happening with QR codes, and as far as unique ways people are using those that might be kind of handy? And then the other is video email. I read and hear of some things, but personalizing you as a person, personality versus just my company is this.
I mean, people trust people more than companies.
Yeah, and sometimes when you read an email, it's different from hearing an email and seeing somebody. Just your thoughts on video email and bad, good.
I don't know. I mean,
You don't want obviously something that's going to download and be slow.
Personally, I'm pretty out on it. I don't even like video popping up in my Facebook feed. And so, if I opened up an email from you, and then all of a sudden the box popped up and it started playing, or worse, it didn't start playing immediately. It started loading. I'm so out. There's no way.
Right.
Because if you give me a text email, I can skim through it and decide where I'm spending my time. If you give me a video email, I'm completely reliant on you that you will get to the stuff that I am interested in as quickly as possible. Whereas, I mean, there's no way to quantify that. So, if you've got, I would much rather take a bullet-pointed email about these 7 topics, and then, okay, I'm only interested in number 6, but okay, cool. I'll click on their blog and I'll go there and I'll read this article, than to sit through any video ever.
Well, it could be a virus or a Trojan too.
Yeah, totally, absolutely.
And
Once you
we
start dealing
do
with
we
attachments,
check all of ours. I mean,
yeah,
and I just caught 2 weeks ago. Maybe so mad, but you should always check that. Even if it's from you, and I might trust you, I get it from my wife, and I know she's not going to send me a virus, but I get I get redirected emails from my wife. So
yeah, that's the
just
thing.
look at who's sending it.
Unless it has to do with some sort of a proposal or something I've asked for, I don't trust any email that's got an attachment to it. Especially if I don't know.
I will tell you from the chamber, what I'll do is sometimes is do a screenshot of the video. Now sometimes, generally there's a paragraph. Listen to Bill Sproul talk about the
That's fine.
recent advocacy things and like the major headline. So if they like the headline and the story, they can click on that screenshot and it's linked and it'll take them to our YouTube page.
Yeah,
and
because that's
watch
on their
on
terms.
YouTube. Yeah.
And, that's improving your SEO value, because now you're driving traffic to your site, as opposed to, I guess, keeping somebody on Gmail while they watch a video. I mean, I'm not.
No, I was just thinking from a standpoint, I go out to meet you and I don't see you face to face, but I just drop you a note.
Yeah.
But it's just a 30-second video versus a 30-second note.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not. I don't think that I would recommend that for anybody. Just there's too much
QR codes?
QR codes. I hope they catch on. Of course, I've hoped that they would catch on for the past 5 years, but they haven't caught on. So, QR codes will always be contingent on the devices in which they are consumed by. It's good that things for the QR code industry, which there's not one, it's good for QR codes that mobile devices are becoming the prominent the way to consume the internet, and that will make them more value. That will make them increasingly more valuable.
Could they be dangerous?
Yeah, that's the other thing. They're yeah.
I mean, you don't know what it is. I mean, you're just
You have
take
to.
a picture of it, and
Yeah.
they can
Well,
do anything to you.
I mean,
Oh.
it depends on where you're getting the QR code from. I would say, because I mean, the thing is, no
Well,
matter
again,
any link on any consumable content can be dangerous. And so, yeah, I mean, if I posted something on Facebook that said, "Look at my cute dogs playing in the yard," and it's a video and it's a link to a YouTube video, that could be spam, or that could be a virus. So I mean, anything can be dangerous. But would I randomly hit a QR code that I saw on the pavement? Not necessarily. But would I hit a QR code that was in a Chevy ad because I wanted to win a truck? Then maybe. A lot more likely. You know, it's all about the context of the thing. So.
Is there anything within the context of the review that I'm trying to get back to my goal of trying to help chamber members help other chamber members
Sure.
by leaving good reviews? Is there anything in particular that might rank high, or just love your stuff, or is it do specifics help or?
Specifics help. A 5-star review that says you guys are great, that doesn't do anything. I mean, if you talk specifically about your experience there, that's going to be a hell of a lot more beneficial than just the fact that it's a 5-star review.
There's not anybody who can like your rating or anything, or because I do this in some things. Did you find this review
Did you
helpful?
find this review useful? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, those do matter. Those absolutely do matter. And you know, while somebody's in there reviewing, by all means, tag yes useful. Then that will give Yelp a reason to bump them up a little bit. But yeah, it should be. If you're going to ask if you're going to ask anybody for a review, it needs to be an actual review. And I mean that's the way that you're going to get value out of it. If it's a good quality review. So
You didn't mention Foursquare, but I do have some Foursquare
yeah, Foursquare's
stickers.
cool. Foursquare.
You guys wanna grab some
I feel
of
like
these?
I feel like it's kind of coming back a little bit. Foursquare is a location-based social network that's all contingent on where people check in. The cool thing that they're doing on a business level is they've started doing the around here type stuff. So if you check in, we check into the chamber, it's going to say, oh, there's 5 restaurants right around here and a movie theater or whatever. And there is value in that, and the only way that you can be part of their around here stuff is if you have a good page, and they don't like. It's again, to go back to it, it's all about a user experience, and so if you have a crappy Foursquare page, they're not going to send you any traffic. If you've got a great Foursquare page, they will send you traffic because that makes them look better. And so they want the user to have a good experience and keep using Foursquare, therefore they're not going to send it to somebody who's not participating in their game.
Is there still? I'm sorry. Hopefully, I'm not getting you off track. I keep on hearing like there's places where you can offer a coupon or something. Like if you're.
You can do that on Foursquare, you can do that on Facebook, those are the 2 big ones right now. You can do it on Yelp in some capacity. I think you might have to be bought into Yelp in order to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think so.
Okay. But yeah, you can do it on Foursquare's free, and Facebook's free. So you can set up coupons for your businesses on those sites. Pearl Cup had I think, well, in theory they still have a mayor special. A mayor is the person who's gone to the location and checked in the most times. And then they had a repeat customer special where basically if you go there and check in on Foursquare 10 times, your 10th coffee is free. And so, the good thing about Foursquare is it actually encourages people to go to your physical location, which is great for restaurants and entertainment stuff and very consumery stuff.
Is there a way on Facebook, we're struggling with how to use our Facebook, but when people check in, I can't find on the back end admin panel a way to see who's checked in? Because we tried running a contest like similar to Foursquare. And I know people do it, but is it,
Their check-in system is really bad.
everything is really bad recently. I'm not liking the way Pages is working.
No,
For business,
it's not.
Not awesome. I can see how many people have checked in, but I can't click on it and see who.
I don't think that I've tried that for the chamber as well, and I haven't been successful in
I don't know how people are doing, because people are giving away,
Yeah.
like, if you're the 343rd person to check in,
How do they take a picture there and post it there? Because I know you can.
maybe, but I mean, I think that used to be a thing that Facebook offered, and so I didn't know if I was just missing it.
You know what? I don't have anybody who's really high on the check-ins right now. Actually, I'm gonna check Gino. While I'm looking this up, does anybody else have
I guess it just kind of directs into, I've been trying to figure out the best way to use my Facebook pages to
Mhm.
promote the business, and it really just doesn't seem to carry a whole lot of value, or I haven't seen any return on the time that I've invested in it.
They've very much changed the way that it works, and unless
Here-
the people are engaging with your page, they're not going to see your updates anyway, basically.
Exactly.
And
It's
I
that
find ridiculous.
I've seen my engagement go down, which just means my stuff's getting on fewer people's feeds,
Exactly.
and it's just going down instead of going up as my likes went up. I mean, I climbed likes pretty well.
Yeah, they did a big algorithm change in December, and they hacked a bunch of it. The way to use Facebook the best is to create shareable content. That's the bottom line, because the only way that you're going to increase your engagement is to get people outside of is to get friends of friends to start looking and liking and sharing and that kind of stuff.
So what do you mean by shareable content? Like,
Interesting article.
blog or
like
a
blog
picture.
post, we share it and then somebody else shares it, which links them back to our page. Is that what you mean?
I mean, actually, hey Jenny, can you go to facebook.com/Rhythm Superfoods LLC?
You may not be able to go on Facebook. Well, I can if it's loaded as me.
Sorry, LLC at the end of that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, so do you want to talk about whenever?
So this is what I mean by shareable content. Scroll down a little bit.
I think it actually, okay.
Okay. So we've got. Let's see. This is our health food company that we're running. So scroll down to the. Can you scroll down? Keep going. Keep going. Food cravings, right there. That's helpful, that's useful, that is what that network wants to see and will share with their friends because they are interested in their health. And it's been shared 330 times. And it's been liked 227 times. And it's been commented on that many times.
Now, is this something they created or they shared?
Nope, something we found on Pinterest.
Okay.
Because that's where he finds all of the stuff for this network.
Really?
Just goes to Pinterest and starts looking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
And that right there is shareable content. Can you create that? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Would it have benefited Rhythm Superfoods more if he had actually created that? Absolutely. We didn't have time to do that, so we just found the thing on Pinterest and posted it. But regardless, there are now 360 networks that have now seen this that does have the Rhythm Superfoods name attached to it.
Okay.
And
So if I go-
I'm gonna guess that out of the 360 networks, that's probably we'll shoot low and say 30,000 people.
Mhm.
Out of those 30,000 people, 150 of them have actually clicked on the word Rhythm Superfoods and thought, "Where's this coming from? Who are these people?" And now they've checked out the product.
So
That's the game.
the people sharing it, the other 315 or whatever the number is, are also getting value because I mean probably getting shared again.
Yeah.
Somebody may share it, so it goes to
Yeah,
Maybe it was in there
absolutely.
somewhere.
The ones on this that have just taken off
Mhm.
are ones that have hit. It'll be something like every now and then we'll throw something up that's all about organic, and if it hits the right organic network,
Mhm.
it just explodes and it's 2,000 shares because all of a sudden this one organic page shared it, and now their entire network is like, oh yeah, and they freak out and they all send it to their friends and that kind of thing because like-minded people flock together, and if you hit the right network, it's gonna go. This is a prime example of shareable content. Take this idea and relate it to whatever you're doing. This is informative. The other ones that work are pretty pictures. There's one that's it doesn't even necessarily have to be the one that we do all of the time, and it's so cheesy, but whatever. People on Facebook keep sharing them. Is a pretty picture with a good quote on it.
Mm-hmm.
And odds are everybody in this room has shared one of those at some point,
Yeah.
just because you actually like the quote. That kind of stuff works constantly. It's shareable. As far as something that you could focus on, I mean, get really cool pictures of some really cool signs. I mean, if it's extraordinary to the point that like, wow, this is kind of amazing, that's shareable. You know, if you impress the hell out of me, then I share it. You know, and I mean that's the way that a lot of people go. So there's ways that you can. I mean, there's ways that you can approach this stuff. Just start looking at big brands and look at the ones. Find the posts that don't say sponsored, because if it says sponsored, that doesn't count. They're paying. Big brands run through their Facebook page and see what's working for them. And
What is Pinterest?
Pinterest is virtual scrapbooking.
It's life sucking.
Can you use it for free? I mean,
You can't. Yeah. No, it's totally free. I mean, the value, the business value of Pinterest is if you are in an industry that has really cool pictures and can have really cool imagery, you take a whole bunch of them and you throw them on Pinterest and you